Dr. Wexler, um, my name is Joe Friday. I'm a detective with the police department here in Franklin, and I'm looking into a situation that we had here earlier this morning. One of your colleagues here at the conference referred you to me as something of an expert on a certain coin, the Confederate half-dollar coin. I was hoping you might be able to shed some light on this situation.
I'm certainly happy to help any way I can. What's this about?
Well, let me back up a little bit. I have to take a few notes here.
Okay.
First of all, can you tell me your full name and what it is that you do?
Sure. Jeffrey Wexler, MD. Also the president of the Tennessee Numismatic Association, which I'm assuming is what you're interested in.
Yes, sir. Do you, by any chance, know anyone named Ralph David Reed or possibly Bill Wilson? White male, mid-30s. Here's a driver's license photo.
Here, no, I can't say I'm familiar at all with either one of those.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm trying to get up to speed on this Confederate half-dollar. The history of it, the rarity, the value, that sort of thing. Can you kind of just take me through the basics of this coin?
Sure. So briefly, the Confederate Seated Liberty 1861 half-dollar is an exceedingly rare and valuable coin. In 1861, when the Confederacy seceded, there were 5 U.S. mints total in existence at that time. Well, they seized the New Orleans mint and all of its dies and equipment. They basically wanted to produce their own coins. Now, however, there wasn't a lot of bullion available for these purposes at the time, so they settled on the silver half-dollar, 90% silver, 10% copper. Now you need 2 dies to stamp each coin, obviously one for each side, right? So now they were fine with the obverse side of the coin. It had that Seated Liberty design on it, but when it came to the reverse side, it had the words United States of America, which was going to work for them. So they created their own die, had a shield design on it, and the words Confederate States of America.
Yeah.
Now, New Orleans fell to the Union in 1862, so there were only a limited amount of these prototype coins. So they became very valuable. There are only 4 in existence today,
wow.
actually. Yeah, one went for about $646,000 a little while back, and a couple of years ago, another one sold for $881,000.
That much?
Yes, and bear in mind that that was a couple of years ago.
So the price could be higher now.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So where are these 4 coins now?
So 2 are in museum collections and 2 are in private collections.
Any chance one of those coins was stolen recently?
No, yeah, I would have heard something about a theft or something like that.
Well, is it possible that more than 4 of these coins exist?
Very, very unlikely. It's we're talking about very well documented coins. Really, only a few had these hand presses around at the time. There was Jefferson Davis, the New Orleans postmaster, and the coin's creator. So, I mean, theoretically, it is possible, but I would think I would have heard something about this long before now that it happens.
So, I mean, just for speculation's sake, what would happen if one of these coins did turn up, if a 5th coin did turn up?
I mean, by some miracle, one were to turn up, then it would affect the value of all of the coins. Most likely, I mean, if you had one of these in your possession, it's more than likely a Scott restrike or a counterfeit.
A restrike? What is a Scott restrike?
Oh, so a restrike is Patterson, the coin's creator. He held on to the dies after the war. But in 1879, he sold that CSA die with the shield design on it to Jim Scott, who took 500 United States half dollars and shaved down the reverse side and restruck them with the CSA die. So, yeah, that's basically a restrike in a nutshell.
Okay. So these are not legitimate coins.
No, not they're not legitimate, but you could still, you could still fetch a decent price for one. About $15,000 for a restrike.
15,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if I was looking at one of these, how could I tell if it was a restrike?
Well, no offense, but you couldn't. I could. I would consider the weight, the thickness, and a few other factors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what about a counterfeit?
Very common, and very worthless. If you, I tell you what, if you've got a specimen on you there, I can take a look at it and see if I can tell.
Well, that'd be great. Now, the actual coin is in evidence, but I have some pretty good close-up photos of it.
Well,
you
Mr.
could-
Friday, to be honest, I would need to, or actually maybe not. Yeah, if you look up in the upper left-hand quadrant there, you'll see the word copy stamped on it. Yeah, that's not a coin. That's basically a souvenir worth about $5. eBay is loaded with those.
You're absolutely sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Well, thank you for your time, Dr. Wexler.
Sure thing.